Hi, Lee Phillips here. I want to talk to you about a topic that's dear to my heart: emotional support animals. And yes, I am a landlord. I'm a lawyer, but I own some real estate. Actually, I believe real estate is the only true form of wealth that you can participate in and actually maybe get somewhere. So, as a landlord, I've run onto it a couple of times, and that's the emotional support animal. The little girl rolls into the BYU dorms that I own some units by, and she has a dog. And she produces a letter that says that it's an emotional support animal, and I have to let it in to the unit, even though we have a no pets clause. Well, we let the animal in. One, you cannot question whether or not the emotional support animal is medically necessary or not. Can't even ask that question. You can do something though, and that is you can verify the letter. The landlord has to be able to verify the letter. And a lot of these guys are getting them off the internet. There's no phone number, there's no web page, there's no nothing. You can't talk to anybody and say, did you issue this letter to Mary Doe saying that she needed a support animal? And that's a yes or no question. I can't say, well, is she insane? Why does she need a support animal? You can't do that. But if you cannot verify the letter, that the letter was issued, then you don't have to let the animal in. Well, this girl shows up with this dog, and every time the girl leaves the apartment, the dog barks. The dog sits and barks until the girl gets back. Well, after a day or two, the neighbors, the other people in the apartment complex, start to complain. There's a barking dog all the time. Well, if the animal is a nuisance, you can get rid of the animal. No questions asked. You just give them an eviction notice. They go or the animal goes, or they both go. We don't care. So, if the animal's a nuisance, you can throw it out. That's no question. And I talked to some friends who manage university housing, and they said somebody moved in with a St. Bernard, which was an emotional support animal. Well, a dog is bigger than the people. And they finally got rid of the dog. The other thing that you can do is you can go in and you can do a black light, white glove inspection. If there's any animal crap laying around, peeing or pooing or whatever, the dog, whatever it is gone. That's a health hazard. That's a health hazard to the other people in the apartment. It's a health hazard to the next tenant. It's a health hazard to everybody in the apartment complex. So any messy, you can get rid of the animal. Other than that, you basically have a new animal. And in order to get your blood pressure down, you need to just look at this thing as a medical device, like a wheelchair, a BiPAP, whatever it is, because that's the way the law is looking at it. And as soon as you can say this is a medical device, the better off you are. The problem is 80% of them are scams. I understand that, but right now we basically have to deal with it even if it's a scam, unless it's a nuisance or it makes a mess. Now, the animal could cause damage. They are responsible for the damage the animal causes. And if you're smart in your lease, what you will do is you will put a monthly inspection clause. I can inspect monthly the unit. You go in and you inspect the unit. If there's any damage in the lease, you also write, any damage will be assessed in the next month's rent, and it becomes part of the rent. That way you don't have to dip into the deposit. You don't have to wait until they leave to get your damage. So that's a good clause to have it too. Emotional support animals are frustrating for landlords. I understand that, been there, done that, but They're a necessary part of our society these days, so buck it up, buddy.